The Federation of Muslim Women's Association of Ghana, FOMWA, has called on for the early completion of the Amanfrom Prisons Rehabilitation Center in the Ashanti region to aid the proper reintegration of inmates into society. Construction of the project began 7 years ago, but has been left to rot under bad weather. It is also a breeding ground for reptiles and other small creatures. The Federation believes completion of the center will equip inmates to be useful to society. Mohamed Nuruddin has more.
It will take quite a lot of people because putting all the units together at any time, any point in time, you have not less than 50 inmates being engaged in the vocational training at any point in time. So as they come and go.
Authorities say they relied on corporate bodies, including the Catholic Church, and donations over the years to start the project. The project is about 50% complete, but there are no more funds to complete it.
So far, the total
Commander at Amanfrom Camp Prison, Assistant Director of Prisons Francis Yelpo, says the completion of the center is of paramount interest to the prisons.
That we may do warehousing of the inmates. Somebody comes in for 5 years, he stays here. At the end of the 5 years, he goes out. He hasn't acquired any, he hasn't learned any new thing. But if we have this in place, before you come out, you would have developed interest in something, if not agric, farming of crops and rearing of animals. You have a vocational skill that you have the interest that you can train in.
ADP Yelpo says authorities are working relentlessly to change the narrative by not only housing people but also training them to learn a trade. He calls on individuals, religious organizations and philanthropies to assist them complete the project.
Soliciting for support, individuals, churches, or any organization that can support us. If we get any form of support, we are not interested in the money per se, but materials. Because at times people are not convinced that you use the money for the purpose it has been donated. But we are saying, come with the materials for us. We have the men who will work with the materials.
The law mandates the prisons to ensure safety, custody and welfare of inmates as well as rehabilitate them. After donating food among items, Federation of Muslim Women's Association of Ghana, FOMWA, urges the public to support the completion of the project. The group believes the project, once completed, will help provide many inmates with relevant skills which will keep them busy after serving their prison terms. Ashanti Region President of the Federation, Kabirat Ahmed Salis, observes many of the inmates would not have landed in prison if they were in gainful employment.
If the inmate made to a skill, so that if somebody is jailed for like 1 year or 5 years or 2 years, the person will have something doing, will get a skill. You learn how to, you learn crop farming, you learn animal farming, you learn this, you learn that, so you get a skill. But we have diverse passions as individuals, okay? So they thought of putting up this building to construct a rehabilitation center or a vocational center where people who want to learn sewing, who want to learn IT skills, basic IT skills, baking, whatever, they can learn all these there. And the structure is there. And we can also, so I'd like to, from WAG Ashanti, Federation of Muslim Women's Association in Ashanti region, we will look into it, how best we can help them. But by this, we are also inviting the general public to also come to their aid, whatever little thing. Now they need roofing, they need ceiling, they need plastering, whatever they can also do to help. Because this is the little we can do, giving back to the community.
Kabirat says it is the responsibility of Ghanaians to ensure the center is completed.
The government is in for our good. Do you get? The government is in for our good. And if it wasn't for limited resource, I believe the government would have done something about it. So it is something that we are inviting the government cannot do it all. It has been there. According to them, the project has been there for a number of years now. So they started this project. And it is something that at 50%. Almost any good person out there who has something is definitely a project to go into, because according to them, they need, I think, about 15,000 Ghana cedis to complete the roofing. And we are in rainy season. The wood is going bad. So I think I would like to plead to the general public, not only the government. We will plead with the government to look into this and complete this project, but we would like to also entreat the general public, whatever little that anybody has, to come to their aid.
Until the rehabilitation center is completed, inmates will continue to leave the prison with little or no skill for their proper reintegration into society. A report by Mohammed Nuruddin.